Welcome back to the late day wrap-up, of which I do want to address the video from this morning's situation, as apparently a lot of people were not sent the video, or it wasn't like showing up in their feeds, or at least judging off all the messages I got from that. The video very much did happen, yes, and for all that I know, it is public and you can get it. All you need is the direct link to it, and I believe it's also on the channel as well if you just directly go into the playlist. Now, why is it not, being sent out to everyone? I don't know, and I haven't bothered to ask YouTube because they're usually pretty damn unhelpful. But with that said, I just trust in the YouTube gods that tomorrow will be better. So with that in mind, let's get on to the major indices, starting with Dixie as always. And Dixie did come down to our $90 level that we spoke about yesterday, now bouncing back above it, of which that is still playing very much within the macro range. So I do look at this once again as a game of support and resistance. And what do we see after testing the bottom sides, or what I would say was the bottom side support at $90? Well, now I want to see a little bit of a test of the top side resistance. And in this case, I would be looking at anywhere around about 90 3/4 as that level. So essentially on the on the macro timeframes here, nothing's really changed, obviously, but that still does kind of tell us a lot with the inaction of actually breaking this range again between about $91 to the upside and 89 3/4 to the downside, and essentially saying that, hey, this could be a macro low in place, as we have seen these macro lows typically take about 3 months long, which this one is about 2.5 months long as it currently stands. And then on top of that, we don't really have any major changes in biases as long as it is, again, below $91 and above 89 3/4. As long as it's ranging, not really much there to talk about. But of course, if it does break below the 89 3/4-ish range, then I would be looking for, well, likely some upside pressure on all markets, and vice versa for if it breaks 91 to the upside, as it will naturally put a lot of downside pressure on price action. So with that said, we're going to go into traditional markets first and check out our major indices, of which we did see, I believe, NASDAQ come down around hold on, let's actually go back down around here. Yeah, it did come back down around our levels from this morning's video as well, right around 13,000 again. Absolutely have to fucking love it, right? And with that said, it's kind of very similar on Bitcoin actually right now too. But would I be looking for this one to slink down a little bit lower in the short term, seeing as that $13,000 level was met? Actually, I'm a little bit undecided on this one. Yeah, I'm a little bit undecided on this one. The short-term downside call from this morning's video has pretty much played out, so I don't think that is appropriate for me to say anything more. And if I go down to the short-term time frames right here, yes, it does look pretty damn bad, and volume is increasing on this dump, but I'd probably be looking for another bounce, at least on the first pass of this 12.9-ish level. Other than that, though, I actually want to see what SPY futures are doing to kind of judge where we are in the greater sphere of things. These things typically trade together. SPY not looking as dire as what we see on NASDAQ. NASDAQ looks a little bit more obviously bearish. If I can load a daily damn chart, that would be great. There we go. And I'm not really getting much from this as well. So I think a healthy amount of I don't know is going to be the proper answer for traditional markets on the medium and higher term timeframes today. Short term timeframes, I'd probably be looking for a little bit of extra downside. We do have hidden bearish divergence actually being initiated on the hourly right here. You could say that a good portion of that move's already played out, but I do think that it comes down a little bit more towards about 38.50, and then probably another short-term bounce from there as well. Anyways, moving on to gold. Yeah, let's go check out gold. Gold breaking down a little bit from when we last looked at it yesterday, and that was signaled by the hidden bearish divergence call as well. Not bad right there. And of course, this is really going to start to look like an actual breakdown in progress if we do get could we do this on daily? Yeah, we could do this on daily. Any sort of a daily total closure below 1775, or a weekly closure, which obviously we still have a couple days left in the week to trade, below about 1780-ish region. If that does happen, I would look for over March, or what's a month after March? I don't know what it is, but whatever it is, in the next couple months, I would look for March and April to get down somewhere around about low 1700-ish region before the next sort of long-term bouncy bounce territory. With that in mind, this one's still bearish, again, as long as we're below 1850-ish region. So fair enough. There you go. Gold down, baby. Everything's down. Everything's going to the fucking crypto gutter right now. Bitcoin. Let's go talk about Bitcoin for a second. So following up on this morning's video, we did say that short term, this one is looking a little bit downside inclined. I did say a target of about 48,500 likely to be hit, and it looks like we're actually almost there right now. 48,850-ish is currently the low on this short term move. But here's the thing, and I need to be very careful with the way that I kind of relate this next portion of the analysis. So So short term, yes, I do think has has a bit of a threatening move here to come down a little bit lower. I mean, shit, man, it could even come back down to about 46,000 bucks, but I need to be very specific with this. I'm not looking for this one to actually break down on the greater ranges, of which those levels are very much the same at about 45,000 bucks on a daily or 44,300 on a 4 hour. Choose your time frame. Obviously, higher term time frame is going to have usually better confidence with them, but in this case, they're pretty damn close anyways. And more importantly with that, I would be looking for a bounce on the next pass actually as well if it does get back down around there. Now, with that in mind, if that $48,500 target does get met, which it actually looks like it's going to get met like maybe even right now, I would be judging the next sort of short-term continuation off that level to the $45,000 to $46,000 region if we do get like a 2 hour dildo closing below this pivot right here at about 48,500-ish region, or I'd actually even say if you're looking at it on a 4 hour, let's see, it'd be more like 48 about 300. Yeah, about 48,300 it looks like. What about on a buy hourly? Yeah, same thing it looks like. So fair enough. 48.3 going to be the magical number on that one. If that level is taken out on a closure, not on a wick, but on a closure, I would look for a continuation phase only on the short-term timeframes. Again, only the short-term timeframes relevant to about 46,000, maybe even 45,000 bucks once again. But I would be looking for bounces along those regions. I'm not necessarily calling like a big old breakdown just yet. And generally speaking, I am just kind of looking for Bitcoin to kind of glide sideways out of this level right here, and that will start to initiate some hidden bullish divergences, which have been building up since yesterday's daily dildo closure. So with that in mind, I do think it's going to require a little bit of patience, a little bit of sideways, a little bit of downside in the short term. Ultimately, on the higher term timeframes, I'm just looking for generally sideways out of this region. And once again, maybe Michael Saylor even saves this market. It's going to be the narrative, perhaps. But with all of that in mind, what would make me immediately bullish to the upside? Immediately bullish, I would be immediately bullish with any sort of a 4 hour closure. Even a 2 hour in this case, I think would very likely get it, seeing as we just got another rejection at 51,000 bucks. Anywhere above there, 51,000 bucks, I would look for an extension towards the daily 10 simple, which is right around, actually that's only 52. It would actually really more so be right around here, 54,000 bucks. So that is about a $3,000 move right there. But ultimately, I think that today is going to be more or less a somewhat boring day in comparison to what we've been seeing over the last like couple of weeks here, and probably a little bit of sideways, a little bit of downside, and then reassess tomorrow on hopefully a live stream that people can actually watch, which would be cool. Anyways, with that said, I think it's time for me to wrap this bitch up and send it off. Is there anything else that I'm missing right now? What do we have on 4 hour here as far as momentum oscillators go? We don't have any, or actually we do have. Or no, do we? No, we do not. No, we do not. 3 hour. What do we have any divergences here? I'm just curious if there's anything. Obviously, yeah, 3 hour did confirm hidden bearish divergence as well on that high. So yes, I would be looking for short term to come back down a little bit. Anywhere around 48,000 bucks, and then we'll see if that area bounces. If it doesn't, I'd look towards about 46.5 ish region, and probably another bounce implied right there. Is there anything on the 12 hour? Not really. No. Anything on the daily? Again, hidden bullish divergences are building up. Same thing on the 12 hour as well. But this one is certainly not confirmed just yet. What we need to see is a confirmed local low right here, and then it would be confirmed. And confirming a local low would certainly not happen today. At the earliest, it could happen tomorrow, which again we'll discuss on tomorrow's live stream, assuming that it, again goes out. Could we look at Ethereum really quick too? I think we could do that. Let's see. It's about just below 1,600 bucks. Let's see if this one's threatening a greater downside move in comparison to Bitcoin. Just out of curiosity here, actually very similar charts. If anything, hidden bearish divergence is about to be confirmed on the 4 hour with any sort of a closure below about 1640. If that does get confirmed, I'd look for another move back down, probably around 1,500 bucks at the very least. Maybe extend that another 50 bucks if things get a little bit crazier. But similar to Bitcoin, I'd probably be looking for it to bounce at those levels, at least on the next pass, and then we'll come back tomorrow and see what it looks like. Daily's looking a little more weak than Bitcoin as well. Playing off the 55, or sorry, between the 55 and the 21. So I don't really have anything to add on right there. I'd still look for Bitcoin to give the ultimate direction, as it just seems to be more obvious for the time being. So with all of that said, I think it's time for me to send this one off. I would like to wish you the best once again. Apologies for the early morning video, and hopefully see you soon. Take care, and until next time.